What is up, besties? It is your girl Karmic, back to you again with another video. And this time we have to take a look at Justin Bieber because he posted those photos of him crying. And then Hailey commented, pretty crier. And, you know, apparently he was drinking and drugging at Coachella. There's blind items coming out that he's struggling and whatever. So basically, I know that Taylor Swift won the poll, but it feels like this one's more important. So as always, this is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only, bestie. There are zero facts here. Just psychic, intuitive hits, nothing más. So in today's reading, I did the Dark Mirror Oracle to get a vibe for what's going on with him mentally, emotionally, the darker stuff. And then I was called to use the Haunted House Tarot. Mercury's still in its shadow, and I'm still just jabbering on and on. But anyways, Hailey came out. Selena, of course, came out. There's just no Justin Bieber without Selena's energy coming through. So Selena is in this reading. Obviously, based on the thumbnail, you will know who else is in this reading by now. But basically, I just wanted to see how he's doing. If you guys remember the deep dive that I did, I list like 5 different readings that I mentioned in here. I'm going to put them in the description box because then it'll start to make sense, especially if you're new here. Speaking of, we are at over 3,000 subscribers. I see my regulars like, oh my God. You guys, I'm so grateful, beyond words blessed to know each and every one of you. I'm starting to memorize your handles now. And I'm just, besties, I love you guys so much. And I am just so beyond words grateful. I can see 5K around the corner, and it's wild to know that, you know, the beginning of January, where we weren't even at 1,000. So hopefully this page is doing exactly what I wanted it to do, which is helping us all understand why people are the way they are, why they behave the way that they do, so that we can understand that people are just people and no one's perfect. And if we can learn from them, then maybe we won't make the same mistakes. And if we can see them instead of how they put themselves out on this projected spotlight, they become more human to us and we can relate better. So without further ado, as always, thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate y'all. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would appreciate it. Hello to my besties. Hello, my regulars. I love you guys so much, and I hope that you guys are doing well after the full moon, the eclipses, Mercury retrograde. Whew, shots were fired by the universe, man. But I had a week off, so now I'm here to deliver my A game, and we are going to start with how is Justin Bieber doing? That man needs a break. My God. Without further ado, all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. Thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do so by going onto my website. It's in the description box, as well as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All the links are down below. The decks that I use are down below. Everything you need is down below. Without further ado, besties, let's get into it. All right, besties, so we're going to take a look at Justin Bieber. I know that Taylor Swift won, but with his crying picture going out and with the Justin Bieber deep dive I did, I need to know that this man is okay. So all legend for entertainment purposes only, besties. Thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. Let's see what is going on with Justin. Yeah, I'm not shocked. Oh, okay. All alleged and for entertainment purposes only. There are zero facts here. I couldn't possibly know. This is exactly what I thought would happen. It's the Diddy shit. It's the Diddy shit. The I won't cry for you. I want you to think about the fact that she's holding that little. And remember how the 48-hour video where it's like, I get you for 48 hours and it's like, oh, you get the car, blah, 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 blah. This is Diddy. That's Diddy. Is this me in the reverse? I don't want to face the shit. What I'm seeing is like the Diddy shit keep coming up. Like people keep bringing it up like, oh, that's weird how he was alone for 48 hours with Diddy. Maybe this is why Justin is the way he is. And Justin knows that everybody's putting the puzzle pieces together. He doesn't want to talk about it. He's definitely giving unevolved Pisces. I'd rather push it down, drink it away. Y'all saw my Justin Bieber update. I'll put it in the description box. I was worried about this, and this is exactly what I feel. He is not taking it well. He's not. He's kind of giving me the vibe of like Amanda Bynes with The Quiet on Set and Jamie Lynn, where, you know, some people see this as an opportunity to feel, you know, seen and be able to grow, but some people don't want to accept the trauma that they've dealt with, the hand they've been dealt with. And with Is This Me in the reverse, first of all, you're not going to convince me that he's not having marriage problems, because that's 4, and I saw 4 of Wands like clairvoyantly right over that. So there are home problems. And I do feel like with Is This Me in the reverse, it's like, yeah, this is me, and it's coming out, and I didn't want it to come out. Yeah, because I'm hearing the song, coming out of my cage, and I've been doing just fine. And then the lyrics are literally, it started out with a kiss. How did it end up like this? And I'm being drawn right back to the 48 hours of Diddy's. So you're not going to convince me. And I know I got people that hit me up in the comments now. We need a shirt that says you're not going to convince me. I hear you. I have a habit of saying that. But like I say, you are not going to convince me that this guy's okay right now. And in fact, with revenge being at the back deck, this dude is pissed. He's pissed. He's sad. He's overwhelmed. Honestly, this could potentially be a good thing, because it means he's acknowledging his feelings. It means that he's actually feeling his feelings. I do feel that he is trying. What I see is a back and forth. I mean, he's a Pisces. It's mutable energy. So yeah, he's going to be wishy-washy sometimes. But I see him going back and forth, where he has days where he cries a lot, and then he's really angry and he flips out. I think he might take it out on Hailey a little bit, and I'm not okay with that. No one should ever be okay with that, regardless of how you feel about her. I don't think he's physically abusive or nothing like that. I just feel like she's a really good punching bag, because he's angry at her too. It's like, you sucked me into a marriage I didn't want. But it takes 2. You could say no. So, you know, tomatoes, whatever. Tomato, potato, same shit. With envious gluttony, this is like, I can't say anything. Like, I'm a victim, but I don't want people to know that I'm a victim. I think he also has shame, because think of how men are put out into the world. You have to have no emotions. You have to be a provider. You have to be completely straight, which most people are not completely straight. I mean, men probably lean towards mostly straight, but give it 100 years. I wouldn't be shocked if they were fluid too. And I just feel like he's afraid, because it's like, people might call me gay. People will say that I suck dick for fame. People will this, people will that. And what he doesn't realize is he's giving Britney 2.0. Like, people care. People want to help. But the thing is, like I've said in his deep dive, other than Selena, he's never really seen anyone just care about him or want to pour into him or want to ask him how he's doing. And I'm not saying that Hailey is evil. I'm simply saying she approaches things differently. Selena's the type that'll sit you down and be like, what do we need to talk about? How do we help you heal? Hailey's the type that's like, how do we get you out of your head? It's like the friend that knows that you're in a sunken place, and it's like, let's go out. Let's get you out of your own way. That's helpful sometimes. It's not helpful all the time. I think Justin is the type that needs someone that he could kind of trauma dump on, which is why I say all these people need a fucking therapist, but you know, whatever. Semantics. But I just think this man is going through it. I think that he has to accept a part of him that he did not want to have to accept, which is that he is a victim, allegedly and for entertainment purposes only. I think he's really angry about it all coming up. I think he knows that he's going to have to address this at some point. He's trying really hard to avoid this at all costs. It's kind of why he's disheveling right now. It's like, imagine if like you were abused, right? And then everybody idolized your abuser and there was no way around it. So you had to Stockholm yourself in order to deal with your abuser because nobody was doing anything about it. And now all of a sudden, decade later plus, now everybody's coming forward. You're going to have a lot of sadness. You're going to have a lot of anger. Think about how many adults failed this boy. You know what I'm saying? So what you're seeing is like, I'm seeing the Tower card in my mind's eye. Justin's losing his shit. But honestly, this is kind of a good thing because it might get him back home to himself. I'm being drawn to my clear quartz here, which is like when we cry, when we let that pent up anger out, it doesn't define us anymore. We're not contained to it anymore. It's like when you finally release an ex, you know what I mean? You ever been stuck in like a situationship and you cry long enough, eventually it's like, I have nothing left for you because I've healed, because I've let it go. What we're seeing is Justin starting to acknowledge his own emotions. That's what we're seeing. I almost feel that could be, because I you know me, I suck at doing research. But I did see something about how Hailey wrote like pretty tears or something on the post of him crying, because that's what made me want to do this video. I think she also knows that he's honoring his emotions, and that's probably why she wrote it. I think that was his way of showing his fans, the public, like, hey, I'm not okay. And that's good. And I'm proud of him for doing so. But with Is This Me in the reverse, I do feel like he's going to try and fight this. I just see him going back and forth where it's like, he's definitely giving me Britney Spears. Because think about it, Britney's a Sag, that's immutable energy. So they're going to have kind of similar ways of handling shit. I feel like sometimes he has days where it's like, I don't want to address this. I don't want to acknowledge it. Let me numb it down. Let me drink. I'm being drawn to Coachella. So I really do feel like Coachella might have been a trigger for him or something. Because I'm just seeing him like trying to feel like he's alive, but he doesn't feel like he's alive, and he's dealing with all the pain. And I feel like a lot of people have hit him up too, because I see him getting DMs and being like, yo, you okay, bro? Like, Diddy's going down. Like, are there any videotapes? Like, should we be concerned? Are you okay? Like, like, I feel like people have reached out to him to ask him, because they know. You're not like, you're not going to convince me, sorry, that the industry doesn't know how this shit works, because they're all victims to it. And it's really sad and disgusting and gross, and it's alleged and for entertainment purposes only. Yeah, forgetting oneself. This boy has been trying so hard. Forgetting oneself. Has been trying so hard. Yeah, because 7 and 1 reduces to 8, which is the card of work. 8 of Pentacles. It's like, let me just work and try and... Remember how in the little clip of him with the 48 hours where he's like, I just want to get bitches and cars and shit? I feel like that's his coping mechanism. It's like, let me chase the highs. Let me chase the drugs, the alcohol. It's like the one thing that used to be fun is now the one thing that helps me ignore the pain. This boy is in a lot of pain. Yeah, anger and change in the reverse. He does not want to deal with it. It's like I'm psychic and said that already. Anger and change. This man is in pain. That's why you're seeing him cry. That's why he's, you know, I don't know the whole story with Coachella. Was there like something about him doing drugs or something like that? Because I could see it. Because he's just, what I see is him like bottling his shit up with drugs and drinking and stuff like that. But there's only so much that shit can do. As someone who was an alcoholic, and I've been sober for over 4 years, I get it. I understand leaning on alcohol. I get it. But eventually you're going to explode. And what I see him doing is like drinking to suppress it, but then snapping. So maybe he snaps at Hailey or he snaps at friends or stuff. But I feel like people will make excuses for him because they understand. Because every time I tap into Justin now, Drake Bell pops up into my mind. So you're not going to convince me? Like, you guys got me fucking called out now. I can't not say that. But yeah, it's just... He's an alleged all for entertainment purposes only victim. And you're seeing him finally... It's giving me the vibe of like a pressure cooker, you know? It's like the pressure on him was just more and more and more. And then Diddy gets busted and it's like, whew, it bursts. You know what I mean? Because you could only contain all that pain and hatred and anger and sadness for so long. Yeah, the child I was meant to be speaks for itself. When I was a child, I went through something. 8, work related. When I was a child in the work industry, something happened to me that made me have to suppress my emotions. We already know this. Back deck is revenge. We already got that. Triumph of Lies in the reverse. He doesn't want to tell you. And he's also afraid of Diddy, because this card reminds me of Diddy. Also reminds me of the Magician in reverse. So it's like I was manipulated, and his lies. It's almost kind of the vibe also like, you didn't believe me back then. Why would you believe me now? So maybe he acted out prior to when Diddy came out, but like maybe people didn't believe him fully, or maybe... I don't know. Maybe he just put on a persona. Maybe he opened up to a couple of people and they were like, that's the price of fame or something. Because I'm being drawn to like Usher and like Jeffrey Epps' girl Max. Like, I just feel like he probably went to someone in the very beginning who told him that was part of the industry. And so he learned very early on that nobody had his back. And I think that's why him and Selena were together for such a long time, and he couldn't let go of her and probably still can't, because even in this picture kind of gives me the vibe of Selena. So I do feel like he's just never going to get over her, but it's not necessarily that he's in love with her. I think that's the only kindness he's ever been shown. Yeah, gilded regret. It's like what I've done because of this, what the industry's done to me. How do I change? I don't even know how to look at myself. I think he's got a lot of self-hatred going on too because of what happened. And it's like, I don't know how to move forward. I don't know. This man is allegedly, I feel like he has PTSD. I mean, are we surprised? So I'm going to do tarot. I'm going to ask what that post was about with him crying, and then we'll just go from there and see how he's doing, period. And yeah. All right, so we are going to take a look and see if we could find out why did Justin make that post crying, and basically what's going on with him, period. How is he? So as always, if you guys enjoy these readings, please give it a like. It really supports my page. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I'd love to have you. We have pop culture, conspiracy, pick a cards, mental health stuff. Just check out the playlist. Thank you to everybody that sits through 30 seconds of ads. It's a free and easy way to support my page. And comment down below if you guys know anything that I don't know, as always. All right, what's going on, Just? Yeah, the Temperance card in the reverse is definitely giving me the vibe. Temperance card upright is giving me the vibe of people talking. We already know. We're already on to it. I think people have been talking to him. I think people have been talking to each other. I think this has always been something. I'm seeing a game of telephone here. So it's kind of the vibe of like people have already been knowing, but now like I think there was a lot of people in the industry that were terrified of Diddy, like a significant amount of people. So I feel like even people that wanted to help Bieber, they couldn't, because it's just like, we're scared of him too. Maybe maybe he did something to someone else too. I mean, look at all the times I've done readings where he was involved in those readings and he's paid people off and threatened them. And so, yeah, this guy is like a mob boss. So I do feel like Justin might be leaning on substances. He might be thinking about how to handle this. I'm also hearing the song Jealousy, Let It Go, Results Could Be Tragic. I don't know what that's got to do with anything. Hold on. Oh, no. Yeah, he's concerned about, okay, so the reason that he made that post crying is because he knows that people are putting together the pieces. That's what's going on. The relationship card, because that's a card about independence. It's in reverse. Six of Swords is about the internet. It's also transition. And then look in this Six of Swords, there's someone that's of power that's abusing someone else. He is aware that people are going to figure out what happened to him. I think he's kind of hoping that you guys figure it out to the point where he doesn't have to speak on it. He might in the future speak on it, but for right now, I think he's just dealing with the emotions because I feel like he's buried them down for so long. What I see is like, you know how they make those pieces of sticker for like the pool and you just slap it on the pool and it's supposed to help the hole in the pool, but like think about it, how's that going to help a pool? That's kind of the vibe. It's like for so long he's been putting that like that masking tape over the hole and it feels like it's just not holding anymore. And so I feel like this is his way. It's kind of giving me Britney Spears Instagram posts with the Easter eggs. It's kind of giving me that vibe. It's like, I'm showing you guys my emotions. I'm showing you guys how erratic I'm being. Put the puzzle pieces together. You guys already know. That's the vibe of this. It's like my relationships with others that cause me emotional trauma. You guys are already talking about it and you know what's going on. I think that he might have done that as like, yeah, because I'm hearing this song that I sang in choir where it's like, poor little old me, oh, poor old me. If anybody knows that song. But I wouldn't say I feel like he thinks that it's like, woe is me. But in reality, it's giving me Britney Spears vibes. It's like, you were a victim, sir. You're allowed to honor that. But I think he's ashamed because it's different. You know what I mean? I think he's also worried that people are going to think that he did it as a means of getting stardom. I think he's worried that people are going to call him the F word is what I just heard in my mind. I would never say that. I'm part of the umbrella, so calm down. Yeah, regrets from the past, and that's a phallic image. Here's Justin. Yeah. Yeah, parties that went wrong. I think what you're seeing is Justin starting to acknowledge, or it's kind of giving me the vibe of like an avalanche. It's like when one tear comes, then all of them start coming. I feel like this is his way of showing you that he's trapped in his own emotions and he doesn't really know how to talk about it yet. And I feel like the reason that Hailey made that comment about pretty crier or something like that is regardless of how you feel about her, I really do feel like she is trying to support the fact that he's struggling. I do. I just feel like what he personally needs is just not, they have different love languages. You ever dated somebody that was really great, but their love language was not the one that you needed? Like, it's just, they don't mesh well. It's not, like, I'm not sitting here to talk shit about the relationship currently. It just feels like they need different things. Justin needs someone that's emotional. Hailey needs someone that's extroverted. They're not right for each other. But that being said, I do feel like she cares. But again, Ace of Wands is like past energy, reminds me of the PP. You know what I'm saying? And then Page of Cups is Justin as a child. But it's something I've detached from, and it's shady ass parties. So again, I feel like right now he's dealing with having to face something he's pushed down for a very long time. Oh, shit. Okay, so we're going to get tea. Didn't see that coming. Does anybody... Okay, all alleged and for entertainment purposes only, because I don't even know if he's going to end up saying any of this, because Page of Swords is in the reverse. I think he's angry at Usher, too. That Knight of Swords is Usher. It's like you knew better. And you gave them... Because the Five of Wands is conflict, but it's in the reverse. So it's like... This gives me the vibe of like an in-house conflict that made me fall apart. 10 of Swords, right? Usher is a Libra, I believe. He's an air sign. I know that much, but I think he's a Libra. It's like the people that were... Because Knight of Swords, think knight in shining armor. You didn't save me from the conflict that was in-house. So I think that he's mad at Usher because it's like... What I'm hearing in my mind, allegedly and for entertainment purposes only, is like, bro, you were groomed too. And it's giving me the vibe of like those that don't learn will repeat. So I'm not saying that Usher necessarily... Because when I tap into the Usher energy, if I remember, I'll put the Pdiddy deep dive in the description box, but if not, just search for it. It's giving me this vibe of like a Stockholm... it's almost like Usher was like Diddy's Maxwell, kind of. Not as vindictive and methodical, but more like, if I help you, then maybe I won't get hurt as much, is kind of the vibe. Because followed by that would be Queen of Swords. That's still Usher. So it's like, you pretended to nurture me. You pretended to care for me. But I could never get out of what was happening to me. That 8 of Cups in reverse. I think he's starting to really wake up. This is actually really good, guys. Like, I know this seems concerning, but this is really good because this reads to me just like what I was worried about. What isn't he going through a Saturn return? This is like acknowledging what's happened to us. This is good. This is the breakthrough before we get to where we need to go. I like this. This means we're acknowledging our pain. I don't like that he's went through pain, but it means he's acknowledging it. I think he's angry at Usher. I also feel that he's angry at Usher because Usher's not speaking up. Usher's not going, oh yeah, groom me too. Like, not saying nothing. I feel like he's pissed because Usher's like, what I'm hearing is little bitch. I feel like he thinks Usher's a little bitch. Allegedly and for entertainment purposes only. Because it's giving me the vibe of like, you knew better. It happened to you too. But you let it happen to me. Because I see him in his interview with the whole, I always butcher her name, Billie Eilish, whatever the fuck her last name is, and how Justin was like, I want to protect her. And I've been telling you guys, he's not the type that wants to reenact some form of forcing you into something sexual. I just don't see it for him. I think his wounds are more verbal abuse than it would be taking somebody's body, because that really did a number on him. I just don't think he's willing to do that. It's like he learned part of the lesson, but he acts out verbally. I see him just being angry because it's like Usher, you were my friend. You were supposed to be like the nurturing figure to me with that Queen of Swords. How he's the Knight of Swords, so it's supposed to save him, but the Queen of Swords is someone that's supposed to have your back. You're a nurturer, but you're also speaking up. It's like, why didn't you speak up? Why didn't you speak out? Why aren't you speaking out now? You know exactly what I know. Everybody's trying to get me to come forward. Why aren't you speaking out? You're sitting here and you're just avoiding the conversation. He's pissed at Usher. He's pissed at Diddy. He's pissed. But that Page of Swords in reverse is very telling. I still don't think he wants to talk about it. It's definitely giving me Britney Spears. It's like, pick up what I'm trying to put down. It's like, I don't want to come forward on it because I don't want to acknowledge it yet. Think about, because I keep being drawn to Drake Bell. Think about Drake, right? What did it take him over a decade to tell his story? Because it happened to him when he was a child. And then what? He's like 30-something now? So I think Bieber really needs to acknowledge what happened to him before he can actually speak on it. And I also think he's very angry because of everybody around him. You know what I'm hearing? There's a quote from a movie. That's not the point. In it, she screams at everybody that she's friends with. And she's like, you knew? All of you knew? And none of you told me? That's the vibe that I'm getting here. You all knew. You all took advantage. I've made excuses for you forever, but now I can't make excuses. Honestly, this lines up pretty well with Mercury going retrograde in Libra, which is relationships. So I see him reevaluating the relationships in the industry that he's had and going, this is bullshit. How the fuck did you do this to me? How did this happen to me? Very reflective. Yeah, he's depressed right now. Yeah, this is the vibe of, yeah, his song Lonely. The song Lonely by Justin Bieber, first of all, it's a banger. But second of all, that would describe his energy right now. What if you had it all, but nobody to call? Maybe then you know me, because I have everything, but no one's listening, and that's just fucking lonely. Four of Pentacles. I got all the money that I could ever want. And what did it cost me? My happiness. Justin's in a reflective era. Yeah, Seven of Pentacles. It's like looking at everything you put your energy into. Six of Wands is like contracts, obligations. So he's really reflecting. This is very, I like this. I hate that he's suffering, but we have to stop stigmatizing crying, because that's exactly how you release that trauma. And for him, he's acknowledging his trauma. Probably for one of the first times. Because I feel like with Selena, it was more like trauma dumping than it was actually acknowledging that I'm going through trauma. Whereas this reads more to me like, are you fucking kidding me? You fucking did this, and you did that, and you saw this, and you did nothing, and then you silenced me with this. I wouldn't even be shocked if he got hit with an NDA at one point. Because look at the rats. I've never been drawn to that. And it's like, don't tell. Page of Wands. He's got a lot of anger. And he does want to speak, but it's like, I feel like he would consider himself unhinged right now, but actually what's happening is he's acknowledging his trauma for the first time. And there's a difference between talking about your trauma versus acknowledging it. Because I could sit here all day and bitch to a friend and be like, oh, this happened to me and this happened. But if I'm not actually motivated to actually change anything or acknowledge and dissect so that it never happens again, then I'm just trauma dumping. He would trauma dump on Selena. Right now, he's actually feeling his shit. That's why you're getting the crying pictures. It's almost his way of telling you, hey, you guys are right, but I don't want to talk about it. I do think he's got some hang up about like being called gay or being called like sleeping your way to the top. I think he's very afraid that people will question. It's weird because, it's how victims always make it about them. That's why these predators are so good at what they do. But I think Bieber's in this headspace where he's like, if people know what happened to me, they're going to think that I sucked dick for fame, or they're going to think that I went along with it, or, victims don't know how to be victims because your abuser tells you that you aren't one. So Justin's very confused. He's got a lot of anger, a lot of sadness. Okay. Well, I've said this before and I'll say it a million fucking times. He doesn't want to be in this marriage. Does that mean he's going to leave? I don't think so. Because the Hierophant's upright. The Magician's reversed. I think he's honestly pretty content with being with Hailey right now, because imagine you're in a trauma state. You're not really going to want to be alone. I mean, it's in your best interest to be alone sometimes. But at least from his energy, it's like, I just heard in my mind it's cheaper to keep her. So, hey, do with it as what you will. But I just feel like for him, he's got bigger fish to fry. So it's like, I feel like he just tolerates Hailey. It really just feels like a business deal. I don't even think she likes him, if I'm being honest. I don't think that she's... Whatever. I'm not going to put my opinion on this. Why do I feel like he's more angry at Usher than he is Diddy? Because people that have watched me long enough know when I look at the King of Swords, I think of someone who's thinking long-term game because of that chessboard. And also, it reminds me of the Three of Swords, heartbreak, with that in the background here. So I feel like Justin sees Usher as someone who manipulates and uses little kids as a pawn so that it doesn't have to happen to him. Because that Seven of Swords is manipulation, it's deception. It's like, I'm out to get you. King of Pentacles, it's the name of the game, but this would be Diddy. So it's like, I don't think he cares about Hailey because he's too busy focused about the very real traumatic events that have happened to him. Allegedly real. know true facts yet until he speaks so for himself. But I think he's pissed at Usher. I think he's afraid of Diddy. I think he's afraid of what you guys will say about him. Vulnerability. Oh, there's Diddy. Maybe he'd show up eventually. Yeah, it's like you used my vulnerabilities against me. You knew that I was into women. You knew that I wanted the fame. And so you use that against me. I mean, the strength card in this deck literally looks like the chick from SVU. So. And then King of Cups is Diddy. It's reversed. And then King of Wands is manipulation of power. And then look at how this body, you guys know me. I've done these readings. Look at how this body, she's not awake. She's not awake. I feel like he's mad because, like, you sold me a dream. He's mad because Usher probably kind of helped him be, it's giving me the vibe of like, like if we're at a VIP party, right? I'm 16, I'm Bieber, I'm at a VIP party. This kind of give me the vibe of like Usher being like, yo, no, it's fine. Like, go in the back room with that dude. He'll really help you out. And knowing damn well that that dude's not going to help him out in the right kind of way. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying that that's specific to what happened. I don't know. Y'all put two and two together in your own head. But you're not going to convince me that Usher just gives me accomplice energy, allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only. There are zero facts here. Every time I read it, Usher gives me accomplice energy. It's almost like, let me find a kid for you so that you don't fuck with me. That's kind of the vibe. It's like, let me help you pick some innocent so that you don't come after me again. Because this reminded me of the video where, like, Diddy accidentally slipped up and said that he was in his underwear with Usher or something like that. Listen to people when they tell on themselves. Yeah, the world card, upright. Justice, it's not fair. Yeah, it's almost like part of him wants to move on from this and just call a spade, but then part of him is like, I want to acknowledge my emotions. I think he's also thinking about like, well, maybe I can turn this into a passion project or something like that. Maybe I can use this to make another album or write more music, maybe, because it's giving me the vibe of like how Taylor Swift has a breakup and then she makes an album about it instead of dealing with her emotions. So I almost wonder if Justin's thinking about creating an album where he channels his pain, like the song Lonely, but like an album worth of that. Wouldn't be shocked if that happens. What is this Mother card? What is that about? I could understand that as a lack of self-love. Burden not worth having. What? Memories from the past. Yeah, I don't feel that he wants to talk about this. Oh, there's Hailey. Wait a second. What? What about Hailey? Burden not worth having. Past memory. Hailey. Okay. Embarrassed. The public eye. Heartbreak. 3 of Wands. I want to expand. Yeah, he wants to leave Hailey. But honestly, this man is in such a survival state that, like, that's really the least of his concerns right now. Because with the first row, it's like, this cycle is already over. I don't want to deal with this. I never got my just dues. It's not fair. It is what it is. They already have the details. I don't really need to speak on it. With the 5 of Swords, it's like, I'm just going to accept it and move on. But with the Hangman, I'm stuck here. I can't move on. Page of Pentacles, maybe I could turn this into something financially beneficial for me. But with that Empress card, lack of self-love, lack of belief in it being able to take off. This guy is having a identity crisis, a full-on identity crisis. And then moving on to the second row, his mind is all over the place, which is why if this reading's all over the place, I apologize. But I do also feel that he feels that Hailey is a burden not worth having. I think he's stuck in the past, again, with the whole Selena thing. He's got to stop comparing women because Selena's not coming back. And, okay, Hailey's not the right one for you, but stop comparing them because you'll never be happy. But with him, it's like, he wants to be alone, but I don't even think that that's what's best for him. Because Judgment is in the reverse, so it's the public eye. So it's like, I want to be hidden to deal with my heartbreak. But then it's like, these always remind me of the 3 of Wands when they're holding the candlesticks like that. So it's like, I need other people around. I need support. I need to figure out where to go from here. But I'm heartbroken. So I feel like, honestly, this reads to me like someone who's probably going to stay with Hailey so that he has some form of support, but if he ends up working through this, and I really pray that he does, I would not be shocked if he left her when he got better. Like, I wouldn't be shocked. Because I just feel like, again, you ever been in like a survival state, so everything else just kind of had to fall to the wayside? You really couldn't care about like cleaning and making food because you're just trying to get by? Like, that's kind of Justin's energy. So, I mean, I just don't see... I see him sticking out this relationship for a while he goes through what he's going through. But I do think that he personally feels if he can emotionally get through what he's going through and have like another come up is kind of the vibe, you know, like getting back into the spotlight, relearning to love my life, getting help, stuff like that. I could see him expanding and then having a divorce. I could see that. But right now with what he's going through, he needs Hailey. He does. Actually, he needs a therapist, but whatever, semantics. Yeah, slow, steady growth. Moon. Yeah, restructuring. He might want to, like, put off a different image now, or... It wouldn't even shock me if he starts to enter, like, a bad boy era, because I'm being drawn to, like, Justin Timberlake, and I'm not really sure what that has to do with anything. Maybe he might end up being that toxic fuckboy with music. I don't know. But there's definitely some form of restructuring that he wants to do, because it's like, I don't want to lose everything from this, but maybe I could change the way people are talking is kind of the vibe. So I would not be shocked if he ends up coming out with another album, or if he just ends up doing like a live or maybe an Instagram post really saying what... Honestly, I would see it more as like a podcast interview or something like that. I do feel like he's thinking about another album, but I think his main concern is more of like, if I can't find the ability to talk about my story, maybe I can find a way to turn it into music. Or maybe I could find a way to find the right podcaster and talk with them so that I can just say yes or no versus like having to tell the whole thing. Because I just feel like he's afraid that he could lose his... Because you know what this is reminding me of? How like allegedly Will Smith might fly both ways and that man just will refuse to admit it because he don't want people to know. I did a reading on that. I'll put that in the description if I remember. But just look up my name with Will Smith. That's kind of the vibe here. He's afraid that people are going to think he's gay. I definitely feel that. But again, this is just a victim mindset. When you've had no one supporting you, you're going to think the worst. Ada wants us slowing down. Are there talks that they might be having money troubles or anything like that? Because other than that, I think he's emotionally distraught because of everything that's happening. I think the Diddy investigation just brought up old shit that he was not prepared to deal with. And now it's like, what do I do? Everybody knows. They're expecting me to speak on it. I don't want to speak on it. I'm worried about what they're going to think, just like how Will Smith was worried about what people were going to think, still won't admit it. And it's like, you're not even gay, Justin. You were abused. Like, just say that. It's okay, you know? But I don't think he's ever been shown kindness other than Selena, which is why he trauma bonded so well with her. No one ever really showed him love. No one showed him emotional support. And I'm not saying that Hailey doesn't show him support. It's just, it's not the support that he likes. It's not, he needs someone that's going to like really talk. Hailey's a get you out of your mind type of person. It's just not, they're different love languages. It doesn't work. Back deck energy. Hold on. Oh, no. Well, that didn't take long. Leave it to... Why does Selena come out in every Justin reading? You know what I'm hearing? If you're a millennial, you'll know the song. I don't remember the words, but it's like, I wish, I wish, I wish. I'm not even in the right key. I don't remember the song. It might have been R. Kelly, actually. Was it R. Kelly? Whatever. That's the song I'm hearing. It's actually a song about, like, death, but whatever. My point... This man is still hung up on Selena, too. I think he's getting hit with everything. Remember how I said in the Selena reading? Y'all just going to have to Google this. I don't think I'm going to remember to list all these readings. But in the Selena reading, it felt like... How do I word this, Spirit? I think he's blaming the industry for losing Selena. I think he's upset because the work environment and the toxicity he had to deal with destroyed the relationship with Selena. I think that he somehow still has a Hail Mary hope that he could end up with Selena. But I also think he's angry because she's with somebody else. So it's like, it's not going to work, but I hope, because that star card is literally celebrity, but it's also praying, you know? I almost feel like he has a little bit of delusion where it's like, maybe if I were to get better, we could end up back together. This man is not over Selena. This is wild. I don't understand it. And he knows too, because like, I'm hearing the song, I'm way too good to you. You take my love for granted. I just don't understand it. Queen of Cups is in reverse. He knows that she did her dirty. He knows. Because Knight of Wands is someone who's reckless and they're thinking with their penis. But it's like, you didn't know what I was going through. So maybe she didn't know what he had been through. I honestly don't know. But I do feel that part of him as a Hail Mary hopes that if maybe he were to get better, he might have a second chance with Selena. I don't see that. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Selena ever wants him back. It's kind of giving me the vibe when I read Selena's energy. It's like, thank you for the lesson, but I'm not really willing to relearn that lesson. I've learned the lesson. Like, that's the vibe here. Yeah, because 9 of Swords in the reverse, 4 of Cups in reverse, and then him, Knight of Cups. It's like, I'm not good enough for you. Knight of Cups with the Queen of Cups. It's like, I still need to level up. 4 of Cups, I need to get out of my comfort zone. 9 of Swords, but I'm stuck with all this pain. 8 of Swords, Ace of Swords, regrets. Lovers in reverse, literally Selena. We already pulled that. The Fool, I'm not naive anymore. Maybe if I grow up. So, I mean, hey, you know, if that motivates him to try and get himself better, then fuck it, you know? Sometimes we need something on the stick to chase. A lot of times we will chase something, and in the end of healing, we'll realize that it was not even necessary to chase the thing. Like, we just needed a carrot on a stick, but at the end, we realized we don't even need the carrot. We just needed motivation. We just needed that push. And I think he's ironically using Selena as a push to do and be better and to heal his shit and to feel his pain because of the maybe. Yeah, because I'm hearing the song, maybe you're going to be the one who saves me. And after all, you're my wonder wall. This man is still not over her. I almost feel like part of him is like, well, maybe if she sees me being more vulnerable, maybe if she sees me honoring my emotions, like, Selena's the one that got away for him. I don't know what else to say about that. Honestly, I know that it looks bad because he's crying and he's drinking and shit like that. But what I see is like, you know how a soda can get shaken and then you drop it and it just blows up everywhere? I feel like that's kind of what's happening. It's like he's had that tense energy for so long and now it's starting to come out. So I think what we're going to see is more of Justin having moments, crying, drinking, partying too hard. But in reality, he's battling the emotions that are coming up for him to deal with. So I do feel like he is slowly healing and purging all the old pain that came with what happened in order for him to get where he is today. So do I think this is bad that we're seeing him crying? No, honestly, I think this is really good. My only concern is, you know, the whole Coachella thing. He might, like I said in the last Justin Bieber deep dive, I'm concerned that if he doesn't acknowledge his emotions, he might lead down a road where he might end up leaning on substances to a point where we can't come back. And, you know, let's just manifest best case scenario for Justin because he's a victim just like everybody else is, allegedly. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there. If you guys need a part 2, I don't really see why we would need a part 2. It just seems like he's actually dealing with his emotions now, and that's a good thing. So I just kind of hope that he learns to lean on substances less and cry more. And honestly, with Hailey saying something like, pretty crier, that's a good thing. That means she's supporting him, and that's what he needs right now. So let's stop the Hailey hatred, because at the end of the day, I still don't see them lasting forever. And I promise you, she already got her karma if you were all that mad about it. So he's already treated her like shit. He already doesn't like her. We've seen it a million times. So she might actually be the one that helps him get better, and we want that. Free Justin. So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Leave it a like if you did. Subscribe if you're new here. Thank you to my regulars, my besties. Love you guys so much. If you guys want to book a personal reading with me, my link to my website is in the description box below. Everything you could possibly need is always in the description box down below. You can vote in my community posts, always on the community polls. And yeah, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All the links are down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching.